Hey, what's going on, guys? So real quick, I'm just going to give you guys sort of a channel update on where my channel is going to be going in the future. Basically, my small business that I operate on the side, you know, this is my main thing, but on the side, I have this little small business where I do videography and photography and stuff like that. And that is going to start growing a little bit more. And that's how I make my income so that I can still write on the side and still do some YouTube stuff whenever I want, But this small business is going to start picking up basically in the next coming months and even starting now. And I just want to basically come on here and say what the content is going to be here from now on. Yes, I am running this smaller business. I've been doing it for almost a year now, but I'm looking to expand and all of that. That's just going to take more of my time, and I won't be able to have the time to make as many videos as I would like and still write. It's just like, I just don't have enough time in the day to balance all of that and family, you know, that's just, but I still want to do this. My main goal in life is still to be an author. My publishing journey is still going to be thing I document on here, because that's sort of what this channel is basically about. And hopefully one day, long time from now probably, I can use this as a platform to talk to my audience and stuff like that. But this whole journey is about documenting myself as an author, and basically getting my name out there and what I'm trying to do and what's going on. I'm still going to be doing updates for my book every week, and I'll probably throw in a fantasy topic I want to talk about. I'm excited to bring that stuff to you guys, but you're probably going to see from here on for the foreseeable future, I'm just going to be having one video a week and basically like smashing everything together that I want to do, because I just don't have enough time to edit a whole bunch of videos during the day. I edit videos for a living, and then I have to come on and do this and edit videos. It's become a little bit of a stressor and a sort of chore to do. So I feel like a good balance is to just do one video and not really like play it too hardcore basically, and just, you know, roll the camera and just talk about fantasy. That's what this channel is about. Just talking about fantasy, getting my writing out there, and just like talking about the writing process. So that's sort of my channel update, guys. But yeah, we're all just still trying to figure it out, but I definitely do appreciate the people who have been following and who have been supporting and all of that. But definitely I will be bringing Wheel of Time near the end of the year, Lord of the Rings at the end of the near the end of the year, maybe Game of Thrones. I don't feel like it's not going to come out this year, but they're still saying this year sometime. It would have to be like in a month or two, but they just finished principal photography like not too long ago, so I don't think they will be doing that. But as always, this video has sort of turned into a ramble about things. You see how I'm not really able to talk about fantasy all too much, and that's why I've made this channel, and I want to be able to talk to you guys about fantasy and talk about my writing. So today we are going to be talking about my writing journey and how it's been going, basically how these past 3 months has gone. We're about halfway through now, and the procrastination part of myself keeps winning, and I want to talk about how we combat that, and I think I've sort of talked about it briefly before, but it's a whole nother thing when really implementing it and trying to keep it a habit to do every day. These good habits are going to make you successful, and I sort of just want to talk about that. Basically my ultimate goal is to be able to write for 2 hours every day, and that means that I have to get out of my comfy bed a little bit earlier, and as I talked about in my sort of channel update, is that my time is becoming slimmer and slimmer as my business is growing, which is all really great, but it means that I can't sleep in anymore. Oh, it's like such a tragedy, you know. But no, I gotta get up early and I gotta write before the day starts. I get in my devotional at the beginning of the day, and then I write until it and have breakfast, and then around 11 o'clock I get to my work day. That usually goes around until like 7 or 8 p.m. But I'm gonna just talk about routine, the power of habits, and how this can help you in your writing journey. So currently I am sitting around 27,000 words. I want to get to 30k pretty soon, and my daily goal for writing is to get at least around 2,000 words. I can get 1,000 words pretty easily in an hour, like a pretty good solid 1,000 words. And I know if I just force myself to sit down for 2 hours and to write, and if I do it every day consistently, at least just during the weekdays, I will be able I'll get this book done on time, basically, and stick to a really good schedule that I can keep up and make sure that I am hitting my deadlines, which is super important. So for me, I wake up at about 8 o'clock, and I have some breakfast. I see what's going on in the news. I know I'm like such an old person. I follow the Morning Brew, which is really good, a very neutral platform, and they just like give you the down low on everything that's sort of happening right now in the world, and I really like doing that. After that, I eat breakfast, and then I do my devotional. Of course, some C.S. Lewis is perfect. And then after my devotional, around 9 o'clock, I start my writing, and with my writing, that usually lasts around 2 hours. And the biggest thing about this part is like, I know these 2 hours are probably going to be all that I have in the day to be able to get my writing done. So I want to make sure that I am not scared. I'm not hesitant. I'm not worried about the perfect words that are going to go down on the page. I'm just having fun with the scene. And that's something that's with the second draft, I've really sort of been able to let go. And I think that is because I've set up a really good outline. So I'm trusting this outline, which is it's not bare bones outline, but it's just like, hey, these sort of things are supposed to happen in this scene to be able to further certain development with characters or plot or setting. So make sure those elements are in there. And I know the people who are supposed to be in there. I know basically what's kind of supposed to happen to move the story forward. And then I just create the scene from there, and I don't take it too seriously. And I think that was the problem with my first draft of my book. I've sort of talked about it with my dad a little bit, because he's the only other one who's read the book. And I think he sort of agreed as well. I couldn't really tell, but I was like, I think I'm sort of fighting my voice in this second draft where it's more of a blend of comedy and more of this drama that's going on. In my off time, what I watch on like TV is like sitcoms, or like mainly shows like The Office or Community, and I draw heavily from that sort of thing. I love that sort of dialogue back and forth, and I've implemented a lot of that in my dialogue, and sort of my circumstances happening with people in my books, and then blending that with a darker sort of tone in other places and stuff, and really just trying to see if that works or not. So that was more of a tangent, but I'm able to really find my voice, and it's because I'm not stressing it too much. It has to do with me putting in that work at the beginning and making sure the outline's all good. But even when I did, I still was stressing about how great the words were on the page. And I sort of just let that go, and it was really hard, but that's one of the biggest things that sort of helped me, is just letting go and just having fun and building the scene and having fun writing. I don't know, it just something clicked that for me, and I've had a few great writing sessions just being like, yep, we're just going for it. These characters are interesting to sort of go about and see what they're going to do. I think in the first book, what made it miserable is because my it's really bad, but my protagonist is sort of miserable with life because a lot of bad things happen with him. But I think now surrounding him with people who have this joy that is in just weirdness and quirkiness that, you know, is rare to see, lightens up the book a little bit, and you can have a little bit of fun with it while still taking it seriously about some of the more dramatic moments. So anyway, very big tangent, but letting that go, letting that anxiety go, and it's hard. It's really hard, and I've been through it because I'm very worried about how it's going to read on the page. But I know that I'm going to have a revision phase where I fix all the prose that I want to later, and I still like the prose that are on the page, but I make sure that I set that 2 hours aside so I can make sure my writing gets done. So anything else in the day, it doesn't really matter. It's all going to be okay. Another thing that I struggle to get in is my reading, so I want to get in 2 hours of reading as well. But that's 4 hours of my day, and that I only have like 16 hours in a day. And I want to spend at least 1 or 2 of them playing video games. I get to the gym around probably 7 or 8 o'clock after work, and then it's usually about 8 or 9, and then I have dinner around 9 to like 10, and from 10 till 12 I'm like playing video games. that could probably be my time to start reading. Typically when it's not a shooting day, when I'm out filming all day, I'll read in between, and I'll make sure that I'll get 1 to 2 chapters done a day. But that's another thing. I want to make sure I get my reading done, but it's not as high as a priority as working or making sure my writing gets done, or making sure that my body's good and I'm working out, and like getting sleep, right? So those are all like my top sort of things to be able to get done. But yeah, the reading is really hard to sort of get in there. there. I usually find when I have downtime or a video is rendering or something like that, I can take away like 30 minutes and like pop open a book and be able to read it. But the power of that routine is it really just tumbles. Like you just keep doing it and doing it, not necessarily every single day, but you do it 5 days out of the week, and you're gonna build a great habit during your work weeks. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm really liking the book so far, and I'm enjoying it way more than I was with the first book, and I still thought the first book had potential. I think that the second draft, it's finding its footing, it's finding where it's supposed to be, and I won't know until I finish the book if it's going to need a third pass, like a third big revision, but I have a feeling that it won't need that. It'll just need to go to alpha readers and they tell me what they think, and people that I trust in sort of the book sphere. So I'm excited to be able to get that done and get it out there, and I'll probably be giving you guys an update next week. It's hard to be able to come up with things to talk about. That's also why I'm going to like one video a week, because like I don't think I can make a whole separate video about specific things and then also my writing, because I'm just doing the writing right now, and the writing is the boring part. I just have to write. I think I'm going to start mixing these episodes with maybe talking about a fantasy topic that I want to talk about for the week. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. Stick with that routine, get a routine going, and I think just letting go of that stress of making sure that you're putting down the right words before even putting down any words. And that's something that I did for the longest time, and I know that can relate to a few people, is really just letting that go and having fun with the writing. Just have fun. Now, you are going to stress probably if you are more of a planner and you don't have a good outline, or you're more of a panzer and you're trying to figure out where to go next. They have great methods for that, but my advice is just going to be like, dude, don't take it too seriously. Just make sure that your story's flowing decently, and they have good up and downs and good conflict, and just ride with it. Just have fun writing, man. That's sort of my biggest thing. So, and it's taken me a second to learn that. I've already written a book and gotten like 1/3 of the way through writing this book, and it's taken me all the way till then to start finding my voice and starting to really just enjoy the process, and not worry over it too much. So that's gonna be my advice. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.